Okay, I'm working late cause I am a singer. I know that we have moved on from that Sabrina Carpenter song, but my brain has not. So that's just how it is for me. Okay, hi, my name is Lily, and I am going to do the mid-year book freakout tag. The last video I had made was in 2020, and I had all of these very high aspirations for being like, yeah, I'm gonna do the get to know you tag, and I did say in that video, of course, that I was not very hopeful about the prospects of me keeping it up, but now I've graduated college, and that means I have a world of possibilities open to me, including thrusting my unsolicited opinions on books to you. So this is the perfect way to do that because it is currently July 7th. And I am so excited about reading, and that's not new, but it is the truth. So let's just get into it. Okay, the first question is, what is the best book you've read so far this year? And I'm gonna give two answers because one of them is a reread. The first is The Virgin Suicides by Eugenides. Not sure if I'm saying that right. Probably not. He's very prolific. Also wrote Middlesex, several other things. The first time I read this, it was a 5-star read, and it remains a 5-star read upon reread. It's just so... I don't even know how to describe this book. It is so lyrical. It is so set in its place. It perfectly, at least to me, it perfectly exemplifies what it felt like to live in Detroit in the like golden years of its industry. The second is a new one that I've broken ground on this year that I've been meaning to for the last couple of years, and that is A Memory Called Empire by Arkady Martine. I was recommended this by my best friend and my fiance. My best friend told my fiance to read it, and then my fiance told me to read it, and I kept putting it off. But I'm so glad that I finally got to it because, oh my gosh, it was kind of hard for me to get into because I am a slow reader and I just feel like I'm a little dumb. So her writing style is so stream of consciousness. I think it's probably one of the most stream of consciousness based books I have ever read in my life, and it's a little disorienting because it happens so fast. The writing happens as fast as the main character is experiencing her thoughts, and so it's very easy to get through once you are absorbing that writing style. It goes a mile a minute. There's always action happening. I loved every single one of the characters. Yeah, it was amazing. A Memory Called Empire. Okay, the second question is the best sequel you have read this year. And I've only read one sequel, but it did not disappoint me at all. It was The Kingdom of Copper by S.A. Chakraborty. This is the sequel to The City of Brass, also by S.A. Chakraborty, obviously. And it was so impressive. It did all the things that I, in my mind, require every sequel to do, which is to expand upon the characters in a way that makes sense and connects to their actions from the first book, and makes them even richer. And all of the, to me at least, all of the plot threads carried over beautifully from the first book. There were so many new reveals that I was obsessed with and did not see. I mean, I kind of saw them coming, but it was still exciting to experience them. And I can't wait to read the last book in the trilogy. I just finished it last night. It was thrilling. There were tears. There was laughter. all of it. So, okay, the third question is the new releases on your TBR for this year, or one new release that you're looking forward to reading. And for me, that is The God of the Woods by Liz Moore, and I have been recommended this a couple of times. People say it has secret history vibes, which I'm already on board for. It's about summer camp. I'm also on board for that. I love a spooky summer camp moment. Yeah, so I'm just very excited to get my hands on that. The next one is an anticipated release in the second half of 2024, and I don't really keep up on new releases just because I have been trying to work through my enormous bookshelf, and it does not leave me a lot of room to be like, oh, what is the books that are coming out now? You know, like I have a lot to get through before I get to that point. So I had to look around a little bit, but there is a book by Ava Reid, who is the author of Juniper and Thorn, that is also highly recommended to me, called Lady Macbeth, which is it's going to be the story of Lady Macbeth, and I'm so excited to see her take on that. Lady Macbeth is one of my favorite Shakespearean characters ever, if not my favorite. So I'm very interested to take that on. Okay, the next is the biggest disappointment that you had in 2024 so far. This one was very obvious to me right when I read it. And that is The Guinevere Deception. Entirely forgot the name of the author. My bad, I will put it in the video. The premise was so exciting to me. It was the idea of this girl who is coming into Camelot as a spy to take up the identity of Guinevere. And I was like, oh, what's that gonna be about? But I read it and I got all the way to the end because I just wanted to see what would happen. But the whole time I was expecting something interesting to happen with her character. I was expecting a lot more from her that I did not see. And I kept waiting for something magical to happen, that I just was waiting for her to have more agency and control, and that didn't happen. She was mostly just walking around doing little charms, and then also being really conflicted about her love interests. And then at the end, it's kind of like, maybe she'll have more in store for her. There are more books in the series, but I was just, it put such a bad taste in my mouth that the book was about this incredibly powerful woman, and then she just really did not strike me as powerful at all. Okay, next is the biggest surprise of 2024, and that is The City of Brass by S.A. Chakraborty. I picked this book up pretty much on a whim at Tattered Cover one day. I actually thought it was a different book, but I was not disappointed in any way whatsoever. I have not been very used to reading books that are more than 300 pages. I'm trying really hard to get out of that box this year, because for the past few years I've been reading books 300 pages or less. So this was the first big book that I've read in a while, and we got like midway through and they were having this huge like climactic moment, and I thought to myself, oh, this is it, this is the end of the book, and then there were still 300 more pages to go. And the characters are so interesting, and the politics are so nuanced and complicated, and you never know who to believe, and everybody has very differing motivations, but all so filled with conviction. I'm rereading it right now to my fiance. So, and it's reawakening my love. Like, it's even better on the second reread. It's just so riveting to me. So that was City of Brass. Thank you, S.A. Chakraborty. All right, the next one is your favorite new author, and that has gotta be Arkady Martine, who wrote A Memory Called Empire. Like I was talking about earlier, her writing style is so unique and special, and she was so effective in her ability to capture the emotions of her characters. And I was so impressed with everything, the way that she unraveled that incredibly complicated story with different exceedingly complicated plot devices and the political intrigue aspect of it, also super nuanced, like with the City of Brass, more so, if I may say. I can't wait to read. I have a Desolation Called Peace waiting for me at the library right now, and I'm going to go pick it up after I finish filming this video. I'm just so excited about it. She is so amazing. Yeah, Arkady Martine. Okay, the next one is your newest fictional crush. And I have two because I can't decide. And the first one is Three Seagrass from A Memory Called Empire. She is so smart. I love a self-realized, educated woman who knows exactly what she wants and knows exactly what to do in every single situation possible. I think that is so attractive. And she just, every scene she was in, I was like, what's she gonna do this time? That's really impressive and makes me like her a lot. So Three Seagrass for sure. But also, I did a reread of Gideon the Ninth, which is, you don't know this about me yet, but this is my Bible. I tell every single person I meet in my life to read Gideon the Ninth. It is a conversation that eventually has to be had with everyone I know. So, I did my third reread of Gideon the Ninth at the beginning of this year. And Palamity Sextus is the man of my dreams. I am actually going to marry a man who is very equivalent to Palamity Sextus. So he's so nerdy and dreamy and kind of bossy, but that's also something that makes him really wonderful. And he's self-assured and talented, and oh my god, I love Palamity Sextus. So also Gideon the Ninth. If you haven't read Gideon the Ninth, what are you doing with your life? It has everything you could possibly wish for. There is no person. I would recommend this to my mother who doesn't like to watch scary movies. I would recommend this to my grandmother who does not like there's no one. I could recommend this to a newborn child, probably. Sorry for the derailing moment, but I had to preach the good word, you know. So those two, those are my fictional crushes. All right, my newest favorite character, it's got to be Nari from A City of Brass, or I guess this whole trilogy really, because in City of Brass she was introduced. She has this incredibly compelling backstory. She's kind of thrust into this position that she's not familiar with, and takes up the helm even though she's very overwhelmed. And in the sequel, in A Kingdom of Copper, she becomes even more realized, and she develops her powers, but she still has all of the traits from the City of Brass that made her so interesting, because she's witty and so street smart, and she's able to understand people really well, and it's something that makes her a great force to deal with socially in these books. And she just keeps getting more and more exciting and powerful, and I cannot wait to read The Empire of Gold, the last book in the series. So yeah, Nari, totally obsessed with her. Okay, a book that made me cry this year. There have been a couple. I unfortunately cry pretty easily when I read books. Sometimes my fiance will look over at me and be like, "Are you okay?" And I'm sitting there like, "Don't ask me. I can't deal with it right now." So the one that made me cry the most was A Memory Called Empire. I was actually totally not expecting to get so emotional on this one, but it was just the fact that the situations were so tense and high pressure, and then it got to a point where the climax of the situations are happening. I'm having a terrible time describing it, but basically it just got so overwhelming that I started crying, and I couldn't stop crying, but then I had to move on. And then I kept crying. It was very chaotic. I love A Memory Called Empire, especially the ending. Like everything, it was just so much. And I assume there will be more crying when I read the sequel. So looking forward to that. Okay, a book that made me really happy was my reread of Gideon the Ninth. Let's get a load of let's give a round of applause for Gideon the Ninth, everybody. You can rewind. I told you everything. I did not tell you everything I feel about Gideon the Ninth, but I definitely did tell you a good bit about it. But I think about this book all the time. I talk about this book all the time. I can't get enough of it. I love it so much. Anyway, Elector the Ninth. When are we getting the last book, Tamsyn? Love you. Anyway, yeah, book that made me happy. Okay, the most beautiful book that I purchased this year is the book that I am going to read imminently, The Empire of Gold by S.A. Chakraborty. I keep bringing up this trilogy, but it's like my new obsession this year. All the characters are so interesting. I'm so invested in every single one of them. I can't wait to see how their plots fill out in this last book. Something happened at the end of the sequel that I was very confused by, but also am interested to learn more about. So, but irrelevant, because look. And they all are beautiful, but like this one, the detail in these buildings, the color, the sheen on it. I just love it. I'm obsessed. Okay, the books that I need to read for the rest of the year. There are a great many of them, but I am a mood reader, so I do not expect to get to all of them. But right now, I am currently reading The Power by Naomi Alderman. Excited to get through that one. He Who Drowned the World, which is the sequel to She Who Became the Sun by Shelley Parker Chan. Love this. I am currently doing a reread of the Hunger Games trilogy, so I need to get past these two. And if I get past all of those, I also want to get, I'm obviously going to read a Desolation Called Peace soon. But then also I have Demon Copperhead right here. Oh, hold on. Okay, yep. This edition of Demon Copperhead, I only got it for $12 at my local library, so thank you, local library. And The Moonstone by Wilkie Collins. I just have a bunch of things that, again, are just on my bookshelves. I have a problem. I have all of these. It's a problem everyone has. What am I saying? We all have all of these books on our shelves, and then we never get to them because there are just too many wonderful books in the world. Why did they do that to us? So there's a lot of them. Yeah. And then the last one is my favorite book to movie adaptation. And I think there were two on my list, like just two book to movie adaptations that I have for books I've read this year. And my most favorite one is The Virgin Suicides. It's just so, I think Sofia Coppola definitely translates the feeling of this book so well into her film. I think it's a bit more like bubblegum, if that makes sense, than the book. I think the book is a little grittier, but Sofia Coppola is known for like romanticizing the feminine aspect of her movies, and I love that. I think it fits so well with the sisters, and it's like a comfort watch, unfortunately, but it is. So that's what I have to say about that. Okay, well, thank you so much for watching my silly little video. I hope you enjoyed it. I will strive to make more videos later in the future. But we saw how that went last time, so you might not see me for a hot minute. I don't do monthly wrap-ups because I just simply do not read enough to do those, but I'm sure there will be other tags for me to complete later on. So thank you for spending your time with me, and I'll see you soon. Bye.